This is the tutorial video for the Reface DX voice Detune Example. The purpose of this voice is to let you hear the difference between normal detuning, where you detune two separate oscillators or operators from one another, and the type of detuning effect that happens when you detune a modulator from a carrier. So this uses algorithm 11, so I have my operators 1 and 2 in isolation, and then operators 3 and 4 in a 2-op stack. And you can see I've just got operators 3 and 4 playing right now. We have a ratio value of 1.0 for both of them, but I have our modulator operator 4 detuned 20. So let's hear what that sounds like. So because of our output level of 73 and our saw type feedback is 75, we basically have a sawtooth type wave, but you'll hear we have a little bit of motion going on, or beating in the sound, which is the detuning of the harmonics created by the fact that our modulator operator is detuned 20 from our carrier. So let's play that again. Slow that down half. So what you're hearing is the beating that's going on between the pairs of overtones or harmonics that are created because of the detune amount and that quirk of FM math that creates these reflected harmonics or overtones from the modulation of the carrier. Let me put that back to a value of 20 and you'll hear the basic sound again. And because both our operators are in ratio mode, again, like all normal detuning, as you play up and down the keyboard, the speed of the beats that you hear changes because the detuning in hertz frequency amounts gets greater as you play up the keyboard. So if we go up an octave, you can hear the beating twice as fast. If we go down an octave, it'll be half as fast. So again, here's our middle C sound. So now let's contrast that to traditional 2-oscillator detuning. So I have both operators 1 and 2. They are completely separate from one another. I have operator 2 detuned the same amount, 20, compared to operator 1. I've also got them set up with sawtooth feedback and a value of 78. This is so that they create the same timbre or harmonic structure that our operator stack was creating. But now that it's two completely separate operators or oscillators, we get the traditional detuning sound. So let's turn ops 1 and 2 back off, turn on op 3. Hear the detuning from the operator stack version. And back to the traditional. So the detuning that we're hearing going on between operators 1 and 2 is exactly the same that you would hear on any other synthesizer that has two discrete waveforms that you're detuning against one another. Again, as you play up and down the keyboard, the speed of the beating that you hear from the detuning will speed up. But the biggest difference, as I explained in the article, is that the traditional type of detuning sounds more rich and full because as you go up the harmonic series, the detuning in the higher harmonics keeps getting faster and faster and faster, just like you heard as we played up and down the keyboard. Whereas in our FM version of detuning, that's created from the detuning between the modulator operator and the carrier, the detuning in the harmonics stays the same all the way up the harmonic series. So now let's play this in chords. That's the FM modulator carrier type detuning, and this is our traditional. So now you've heard the difference between detuning the modulator and carriers in the same stack versus traditional detuning, where you detune separate operators or operator stacks from one another. Until next time.